maybe Toronto's most famous courier, and a conversation about the award he's won for fighting a battle. We'll have that conversation right after this break. Well, a foot courier in Toronto has just won an award from the International Federation of Bike Messenger Associations. Wayne Scott has been a courier for 22 years. He gets around the city on foot, and that takes a lot of shoe leather and a lot of energy, which is why he spent 18 years fighting for the right to claim the cost of food as a tax deduction. It's just like a motorized courier can write off the cost of fuel. Wayne Scott, and his award too, join me in the studio now. So tell me how this campaign for a tax write-off began for you.
I started as a courier in my early 30s back in '81, and I noticed immediately how much more food I was eating. After about 3 months, it had almost doubled to what I'd been eating before, and consequently my food bills were going up as well. And I went to Revenue Canada at the time, and I said, you know, I've got this extra food that I'm eating. This is the fuel that moves my vehicle, which is me, and it should be, the extra food should be looked at as fuel, and I should be able to write it off my taxable income.
So now how long did it take you to persuade them?
Well, I kept going there, and they kept saying, no, go away, pay us your money. And it was 18 years. Finally, I was broke. I couldn't pay them, so once I didn't give them the money, it was like an enforced tax revolt, one-person tax revolt. Then they got serious about it, and I had to go to the Tax Court of Canada, where I lost. And then I contacted the media, and it was all over the Canadian media. And a lawyer by the name of Dinah Gross-Kaufmannis called me up and said she agreed with my position, and she would take the case pro bono. And once she framed it so that the system could understand it better, then it went through, and it was a unanimous decision at the Federal Court of Appeal. And then I had to go back to a third federal court appearance at the Tax Court of Canada to come up with the actual figures. And what we ended up with was $11 a day, the cost of one extra meal for all non-motorized couriers. So everybody can write that off now, per day worked, and you don't need receipts. If you have a bigger fuel bill that you think you've got, then you have to have receipts, but you get the $11 every day.
Now, you're on foot now.
Yep.
You started out as a cycle.
I rode until '88 when I had a serious bike accident, and it took a couple years and 3 operations to get back on the road, and I just couldn't, my mortgage payments wouldn't wait any longer, so I had to come up with a slightly safer way of doing it.
So how much more do you eat? Can you give me an idea of sort of a typical?
It's about double, or it was. I'm getting on in years now for this kind of work, and I just don't have the strength and the endurance that I once had. And I don't eat as much either. I can't eat as much.
Right. So what would you normally eat for breakfast?
I'd start out the day with leftover pizza from the night before, cheese pizza, I don't eat meat, and a big bottle of V8 juice or some sort of fruit juice.
Right.
And then I'd eat granola bars and things like that during the day, have a couple of pounds of salad at one of those salad bars, and all this is while I'm moving. Right, because you don't get lunch breaks, you don't get coffee breaks. You start out and you work about 10 hours a day constantly moving. And so you're grazing as the day goes on, like any other beast of burden.
Well, you're remarkably fit. Remarkably fit. This is quite something, this award, to be recognized internationally.
It's amazing to me, because this is from the International Federation of Bike Messengers, and I haven't ridden a bike in 15 years. Right, I've been on foot. So I think it's the industry coming of age, the fact that I've been given this award, and I accept this on behalf of all walking couriers worldwide. The fact that the bike messenger associations are recognizing that it's not as much about the bike, but it's about the human physicality of the job and the environmental aspects of the job. So the industry is growing up.
So you've got a new campaign now, I understand.
The one in here in Toronto?
Yes.
Yeah, we'd like to see it go national eventually, but we just think it makes common sense that if we have the capability to move goods in an urban setting without polluting the atmosphere, if we use non-motorized couriers, why isn't it mandatory? And if we start with the City of Toronto itself and make all deliveries within a prescribed area where it makes sense to by the point-to-point destinations that are in a finite location, and the size of the packages, that those packages should be moved without polluting the atmosphere. We've got the capabilities. Why don't we do it? It's really simple.
You're clearly a very determined man. I'll be interested to see how this turns out. Thanks very much for coming in to talk, and congratulations.
Thank you again.